who let the lemon head into the room? You are a waste of life, and you should give up.
I enjoy having breakfast in bed. I like waking up to the smell of bacon. Sue me. And since I don't have a butler, I have to do it myself.
That's awesome!
See, it went a bit more smooth. And see, over time, my intros are getting a little bit more smoother. They're getting smoother and smoother and smoother. Anyway, what is up, guys? My name is the Austin, and welcome back to the channel. This is another DC animated movie universe review. Yeah, this is the third film in the series of 16 movies, and I am once again joined by Anime Talk, aka Dylan. What's up, Dylan?
Hey guys, what's up? And yeah, I don't know about this film, man. This was a fun film, but this is gonna be a real short video because I don't have a lot to talk about.
You know what? Same here, Dylan. I don't really have much to talk about either. I feel like this stream is gonna be very short. So just to milk this out a little bit, Dylan, how are you? How's your day going?
I'm actually doing pretty well. I actually, you know what? Legit, today I deep cleaned my room 4 hours. 4 hours. I disinfected my entire collection, my entire bedroom. 4 hours. That's what I did.
Did you make it? Does the room now smell lemony fresh?
Actually, it smells like chlorine.
Oh well, you know, even better. You gotta burn the nose hairs, you know. Gotta make your eyes water a little bit.
Yeah.
Cindrette, what's up? Witch Son? Well, we're gonna get into that in the review, but right now I'm trying to pad this out for time because this might be very short, so I'm trying to at least make sure this is not a short stream.
Yeah. Well, I'll just tell you guys where I'm coming from then to pad this out a little bit. So you guys can find me over at my brand new channel, of course, Anime Talk, where I plan to just gather up a bunch of friends and talk and hang out and talk about anime. So hopefully you guys like anime. Hopefully you guys can find me and come and join me. I think it would be a lot of fun to have you there. But with that said, that's about it. I'm over here on Austin's channel. Ninjoid's going live tomorrow. What else can we talk about to pad this out?
I have no. Oh shit. Oh crud. So to pad it out, we shit. I don't know. Do you have anything you want to talk about, Dylan? Oh god, Dylan. Oh, he's back.
Well, yeah, you know what? My camera mic. I'm gonna have to buy a new camera mic because for some reason, not a camera mic. My apologies. My camera. I'm gonna have to buy a new camera because for some reason, I don't know. There's something with the cord. Every time it gets fidgety, my camera goes out. I don't know why, but I'm not even gonna mess with it anymore. You guys saw that I had Batman shirt on. That's all I wanted to show you guys. I'm good.
Yes. Are you looking for a really expensive camera? I'm sorry. I'm trying to pad this out as much as I can.
Probably like I have $150 in my pocket from Christmas and stuff like that. So I was trying to save up to buy Anakin Skywalker from the Black Series Anakin Skywalker. He's like $200 from Episode 3. But I don't know. $100 camera is probably what I'm gonna do. This camera that I use, to be honest with you, it's fantastic quality. At least it works for the year I have it. You guys gotta remember, I've had this camera for a year, and considering it was only $40, I think it was $40 well spent. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's for a $40 camera. That's actually pretty good.
That lasted a whole year.
Yeah. Now, are you
It's
looking
going out
for
now.
more? So, do you think you're gonna spend another $40 on one, or do you think you're gonna go a little bit more pricey for maybe longevity reasons?
I think for longevity reasons, I might want to try to buy maybe a $60, $70 camera versus this one. I hope I can find something good that isn't just like the same quality except pricier, because like that happens a lot on Amazon. Like you think, oh, you're getting a super cool deal, it's a super cool camera, it's $70, when in fact it's worse quality than the one you had before for 40. Like I hope I don't end up with that situation, but yeah, I hope I can find just a little something, spend a little more to get longevity, but I don't know, we'll see. But for $40 and an entire year, that's pretty good for a camera.
That is pretty good.
And it's decent quality. I've gotten
Yeah,
decent quality out of this thing.
that is indeed true. We have Deshaun in the house. What's up, Deshaun? And then Sidra, let's talk about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. No, you want to know why?
We're done with Star Wars. Me and Austin, we quit Star Wars. That's it.
I gave up. The wells run dry.
It really has when it comes to that.
Alright, now I feel like we padded this out for 7 minutes. I feel like we went on. I think the intro's long enough. I think we can at least start with the review. Again, I don't know how long this review is gonna go. If it goes on really short, we're gonna have to pad this out at least until we get to like 30 minutes.
Watch it. This actually ends up being our longest stream.
God, that'd be such. Yeah, that shit would happen. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this stream, the actual review itself of Son of Batman. Like I said before, this is the third movie in the DC animated movie universe. The basic overall plot of this movie, which I usually like to go into in brief detail, is Ra's al Ghul is dead. He was basically assassinated by Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, who was supposed to be his successor, and now Talia al Ghul is leaving her son Damien with Damien's father, who is, in the title, Batman. And over the course of the movie, Batman and Damien have to work together to defeat Deathstroke, while Damien wrestles with the thoughts of revenge. That's pretty much the story. Was I spot on, Dylan, with the story?
That's spot on. That's basically the entire plot of the movie.
See, I'm great at giving out plots.
Especially within just like 3 sentences.
I know, it's because literally that's all you need. I swear.
That's all you need for the entire movie for the plot.
Exactly. Let's get into our overall thoughts. Dylan, you can start.
Okay, my overall thoughts is, while this is not my favorite Batman movie, and not even my favorite Robin, I actually really did like the comparison that they had between Robin and Bruce, and I'll talk about that more in my my likes and dislikes. But I really did enjoy the story they set up. It made sense, and I don't know. I can kind of poke fun at Batman. One of the best things that came out of this film, honestly, was just the butler Alfred and Damien's relationship. That was fantastic. But yeah, overall, pretty good movie. That's my overall thoughts. Sorry, I'm trying to pad this out for time. But no, that's my overall thoughts.
All right, good enough. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of echo you, Dylan. I thought the movie was good. It's not as good as like a lot of us have brought up, or like some people have brought up, like, oh my god, it's the best Batman movie out of all these Batman movies. I'm like, I kind of disagree. I thought it just,
It worked.
it works, but it's like it's good as its own thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not anything. It's solid. Like, it's fun. I like the characters, the action. I like that this was a bit more story driven. But
Kindred, I believe you are correct about that.
is this the one where someone drugs Batman and has his kid? Pretty much. That's exactly what happens. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't really have much to say because really everything I have to say more in depth is really my positives and negatives. So
Exactly, same with me.
it's good, but there's better Batman movies out there. If that
Yeah,
makes any sense.
there have been a lot of better Batman movies out there. Like, I really enjoyed this, and don't get me wrong, this is like that mid-tier Batman. It's not like the bottom level Batman either. It's not the top tier Batman either. It's about mid-tier, but it's enjoyable. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not your favorite, but it's really good.
Indeed. Now let's get into our positives of this movie, and Dylan, you can go first.
Yeah, positives. This is just so funny because it's just so darn short. Positives. I actually liked Damien as a character. He was kind of a snot-nosed little brat, but I kind of understand with the way he grew up. I like the whole assassination type of storyline that they have for him. Him being the grandson of I can't say his name right. Something Ghul, Ajo Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul dies in the beginning of this film. I really like Slade, so of course I know Slade from the Teen Titans, and having him kind of be Robin's quote unquote main villain in this, I really like that because of the connections that it has to Teen Titans, where that's like what I grew up with was the Teen Titans. So I did like that comparison. Slade was a great villain in this, but he wasn't the best, which I'll talk more about that when we get to negatives. But Slade was a really interesting character. I liked the rivalry they had with Damien as well. Damien reminding Alfred a lot about young Bruce. That was really funny. I like how Alfred's just as soon as the kid gets there, he's just done. He's had it. He's just not knows brat. He's tired of putting up with with this kid. I actually really liked it. I found it really funny. Just swinging by, got to film some TikTok. What is up, Tim? Nice to see you, man.
What's up, Tim? Nice to see ya. No problem. Thank you for swinging by.
Yeah. So yeah, my positives. I really like Damien. I really like his mom. Batman. I don't know. Well, I talk about this. This is both a negative and a positive, so I'll just talk about it. Just to spread out the time. Batman in this movie, trying to be like a father figure for Damien is great, but I mean, I don't know. I almost felt like he was more of a father for the original the original Robin, which of course Nightwing. Nightwing basically makes a cameo in this movie, which is fine. He's cool. I liked him. I like the fact that he basically beats up his new little brother. For the first meeting, that was great. But what's yeah, the only negative that I would really come up with is probably the whole thing about like I kind of wish that Batman, Bruce Banner, kind of tried to act more like a father to him. Like in this movie, honestly, other than yelling at him once, he never really connects to Damien in this movie at all. You know?
Okay.
And that's my negative as well. Sorry.
Damn, Dylan already went into his negatives.
I'm done.
Yeah, a lot of what you said I'm going to agree with. I think Damien, like, especially knowing what I know now after all these movies are done with, I think Damien, I think, is a really solid character here. I liked that because, again, it makes sense for him to be a brat. He's kind of an asshole because he was raised that way. So you have a character in Damien who's this like snotty, like know-it-all, and and I think Alfred brings it up early on in the movie that he reminds him of a younger Bruce Wayne. And Bruce Wayne at that age was angry, because he lost his parents. Like he's an angry individual, but like Bruce says later on, and that's where the comparisons really end because like Bruce said, he had people there, to help him, his friends, whereas Damien is kind of like his dark reflection where he never had that. And he was trained exclusively with the League of Assassins, so I loved the compare and contrasting between Damien and Bruce. And yes, the interactions between Alfred and Damien are really fun, especially at this stage. Alfred's just over the shit already. He's like, "Oh, Master Damien, I don't like. I miss him already." After he goes back to the Batcave to give Batman his tea. The action was fun. It was very Batman-y in terms of action. Like the stuff with Killer Croc, again, kind of like a lot of these DC movies. It's like a minor cameo from a villain that's kind of there to set up the major plot of the movie. The action even at the beginning of the movie is not very Batman-like. It's more how do I put this? More like Japan-ish, like with swords and more. It has like that kind of anime style, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Uh,
The animation's great.
oh yeah, the animation. I think the animation as with all these movies are really good. I like the introduction of Nightwing in this movie. I liked that. Again, it's not a massive role, but he does play a part in the movie. I like the implementation of the man bats. I thought was very interesting. Even though I wouldn't say it's a negative, but I would say it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, I get what they're trying to go for. Raish wanted these like super soldiers, but then they magically turned to bats, which was kind of dumb and weird. But I was like, okay, I get what they're going for. And like you said, the rivalry between Slade and Damien works because that's the major plot point of this movie is the feud between him and Damien. And so, Damien takes Slade's eye after Slade kills Raish, and then you have this whole, basically this whole movie is building up to this final battle between Robin and Slade, and basically Robin wins in the end after a really cool final fight. I thought the fight was brutal, and it made sense with the ending where instead of Damien killing Slade, Damien just like, no, I'm not going to do that, even though
after the lessons from Batman, yeah.
Exactly, it works. So you start to see a little bit of character progression with Damien by the end of the movie, which was nice.
On a side note, I'm sorry to interrupt you. On a side note, his suit is actually better than Dick's.
No, I agree with that. Like, I know, like, the people like the Robin attire with trunks, which, I mean, I get it, but I just prefer Robin with pants, because, I mean, come on.
Yeah, pants and the cape. I don't know what it is, but the cape being longer, almost covering his entire body like it was in the movie. I don't know. It just looked way better the way it looked.
Yeah. I agree. What else? I liked seeing Gordon there. Again, he's not really there throughout the entire movie, but he's there in a couple scenes. I like the little cameos inside Arkham Asylum with Two-Face, Joker. You do see.
You got Croc, Killer Croc.
Yeah, Killer Croc, which in the beginning, and which I thought that stuff in the sewer was fun. Like I said, the whole Talia thing, it makes sense because again, that's what happens in the comics where she basically, her and Batman had a thing, and then Talia ends up having Damien, and Batman doesn't know until much later on. And you know, and even knowing a little bit more about Damien throughout the movie with him finding out that he had to crawl up a mountain when he was like 4 and he broke his wrist and he had to keep going because it was expected of him. Like, it's kind of he has like a tragic upbringing himself. Like, again, the kind of comparing and contrasting with Bruce.
Yeah, it was a great comparison too. Yeah, and the whole thing of him trying to teach, which eventually he does learn the lesson, but I wish there was more time spent, and of course there will be later on in future movies, I'm sure of it. But right now, just with this film, I do kind of wish there was more time spent on this whole thing about Bruce teaching his son right from wrong, which I do like the fact that he learned the lesson at the end, but the fact that Bruce has such a tragic story, tragic backstory, and yet he chooses not to kill, you know, and that's what
Exactly.
Damien needed to learn.
Yeah, because throughout the entire movie, like, I'm pretty sure Bruce could have, at some point done so, but he chooses not to because he knows like that's not who he was raised to be, type of thing.
Yeah, I really liked what Batman said as well. I can't remember. I'm paraphrasing here, but he said it's something along the lines of if you do that, you're no better than them. That's
And
basically what I always think Batman thinks. So.
no, that's exactly what Batman thinks. It's kind of like in Batman Under the Red Hood, and I'm this is gonna be me comparing this to another Batman movie, but
which is way better.
The final scene one of the final scenes, the final act, where Batman's like telling Red Hood, "I can't kill the Joker because that basically makes me stoop to his level, and I can't do that," type of thing. Like, that's what he basically tells Damien here, is that, look, yes, you can kill, and sure, it may be easier, but if you do so, you're just as much as a criminal as the common one. Which, I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's just, that's just kind of the basic, like, interpretation of his moral code type of thing. So, gosh, do I have anything else? I liked the ending to the movie where Talia says to Batman, "Hey, you should join me," and then Batman's like, "No." And then she's like, "Well, Damien should come with me," and then Batman's like, "No." And then she kind of thinks about it and is like, "Well, maybe Damien should stay with you so that way you can kind of teach him to be better, and then so that way when he comes back, he's not like, I wouldn't say a robot, but just at least, because I think she wants him to be more like what Raish wanted Batman to be." And so I kind of like that, and of course the little joke at the end with Damien saying, "I'll drive," and then Batman saying no, and
yeah, that's great. It wrapped the whole story up with him saying, "I'll drive," just like the beginning.
Yeah, and I will say the final action sequence, like I said, with Damien and Slade was freaking awesome.
You know what? Just because, just trying to pad out time here, just because he said that and he keeps saying no in this movie, I am hoping that by the end of the film, by the end of this series, somewhere in one of these movies, he'll say, "I'll drive," and Batman's gonna be like, "Go for it."
That would be interesting.
Just character growth on that.
And I also did like that we do see what happened during the fight between Nightwing and Damien throughout the credits, which I thought that was a fun little. That was kind of fun. Kind of gives you a reason to watch the credits, type of thing.
Yeah.
That's it for me. I feel like we basically went through the entire like movie with our positives. Yeah. See, this is
So
what happened.
what negatives do you have? Because the only negative that I have is that Slade was better in the Teen Titans TV show than he was here. That's the only negative I have. Like, I don't like. Here's the funny thing about this movie. Like, I have no negatives about this movie. I've just seen better movies. That I always rank these films based off of my own experience with these films, my own enjoyment of these films. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed this film, but I enjoyed other films more than this film, which is why you'll see my rating in a little bit why it's not as high as some people might think it'd be, because I really have no negatives with this film, but it's just not my favorite. What about you, Austin? What's your negatives?
Well, unlike you, Dylan, I do actually have a couple negatives. First things first, I know everybody's been saying this over the last couple of reviews that we've been doing. Well, it hasn't been an issue with the previous two movies. I do feel like this movie could have used the extra time.
It really could.
To maybe, like, give a bit more, like, to let Batman and Damien have some more interactions, to maybe grow Damien's character, like, maybe show Bruce trying to be a father figure, like, maybe kind of getting a little bit more Deathstroke throughout type of thing, to maybe give him more motivation, or, like, see how he's like planning this stuff out type of thing. Like, maybe we'll get more, like, maybe more stuff on the scientist Kirk Langstrom and like his stuff, because again, they really only gloss over it, which I feel like they could have used more time on. Like, I think that's really the only, probably the, like, one of the bigger negatives with this movie is this movie definitely needed the extra time. Like, I don't think Justice League War needed the extra time. I don't think Flashpoint Paradox needed the extra time. This movie, I feel like, needed more time to kind of tighten it up a little bit. And speaking of Deathstroke, while I enjoyed him in this movie, he was not at his best. I definitely prefer him in the Teen Titans show, and I do prefer him in a later movie in this universe. So I just feel like here he was just a bit generic. Like, he's just there to kind of have Damien face somebody. Like, again, I think for plot reasons he was good. Like, it makes sense. Like, he was supposed to be, Raish's successor, but then once Raish found out about Batman, he's like, nope, see you later, Slade. And then Slade getting his revenge, and that ultimately leads to him and Damien feuding. That makes sense. It's just, he's not, how do I put this? He's threatening, but at the same time, it's, I don't know the word for it. It just, he wasn't at his best. I thought so as much as I like the opening of this movie, I did feel like I get Raish being the one to take down everybody except for Deathstroke, but like the other assassins that are killed by like the automatic weapons, I do feel like they should, like, if you've been trained by Ra's al Ghul, like, you should be able to at least be aware of your surroundings at all times type of thing. Which, again, it might be a small, like, maybe a big nitpick for me, but it's just, like, one of those things that's always stuck in my craw. Like, I get it that they were targeted, out of the blue, but at the same time, you were trained by one of the best fighters in the world, Ra's al Ghul, to be an assassin, and as an assassin, you should know everything. You should know your surroundings, and them just being mowed down, I'm like, okay. I mean, again, makes sense, but that's just a little bit of a, maybe it could have been better, but that's just neither here nor there. I'm trying to think. I really don't, I feel like those are really the only negatives I have, to tell you the truth. I feel
those are
like
good negatives.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know. I feel like they're kind of nitpicky, but it's just like some of this is just so that way I could kind of stretch this out a little bit.
Yeah.
But
we're almost at 30 minutes.
But I do feel like, though, they're legitimate, like, negatives, though, because it's kind of like, well, I mean, because like some of them are just like, obviously they needed more time. I think they could have developed Deathstroke a little bit more as a villain, and I do feel like the opening could have been improved. But even then, I feel like at points the movie is kind of slow, if that makes any sense. Like, I mean, I don't think the pacing was bad or anything, but I do feel like there were points where it's like it kind of slows down a little bit, and then it's like, oh, okay. well, even then, those are really all my negatives. I don't really have much else. I feel like we kind of discussed everything. Well, actually, going back to my positives again, I did like the interaction between Batman and Damien when they first meet, where Talia's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're getting hunted down," and then Batman's like, "Who's we?" And then reveals to be his son, and then Batman's like, okay." So, and
Yeah, he
then
didn't have much of a reaction, did he? But
no,
then
he's just
again,
like,
does Batman ever have much of a reaction?
not really. And having that whole little
It would
interaction
be really
where,
comedic if his jaw like dropped or something.
but Batman just like, well, I am Bruce Wayne, and I could have fathered more children because I'm a playboy. Well, I'm not surprised. And I did like their little interaction where Damien's like, "Oh, I can do this on my own," and then Batman's like, "Yeah, I could do this on my own too," but then he's
Yeah,
like,
it is really kind of funny when Damien just walks up to him and is like, "Oh, hello, father. I expected you to be taller." It's like he was not no brat.
and then Batman's just like, "Oh my god, get this kid out of my face."
No, you know what's worse? He's like, "Oh my god, he is my son."
He's like, "Shit." He's like, "Oh, what the hell? Come on, son, you're coming with me in the Batmobile." And then he's like, "Alfred, we're gonna have company," and then he's like, "A sleepover? Oh, goody." It's like, man, Alfred just had enough at this point. He's just like,
Yeah, it's
"Ma,"
like Alfred expected like Batman to bring home a cute girl. Nah, he brings home his son.
and he's just like, it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, maybe in between he's like, "Master Bruce, how dare you, Master Bruce? I taught you to be better than this." And then Batman's like, "It's not my fault, Alfred. It wasn't my fault. I was drugged." And then Alfred's like, "That's no excuse, my boy. That's not my excuse." And even like Nightwing's reaction to Damien is like, "Wait a minute."
That's actually pretty good.
Nightwing's like, "Wait a minute. He gave me lectures about using protection, and he doesn't get to it." Then Alfred's like, "Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. This Listen, I'm as shocked as you are." And then Nightwing's like, "I'm over this." And then Alfred's like, "Yeah, me too." And then I would be surprised if they were both like, "Let's hate Damien together." And then Alfred's like, "Okay."
Yep.
Alfred's like, "I like you more than Master Bruce anyway."
I mean, later on in the movie, when he's cutting down branches, you can just tell that Alfred's like, he's cutting down my work.
It's like, this kid, I'm gonna. Alfred's like, "I'm gonna kill this kid soon." Meanwhile, Batman's like, "Oh yes, he's got some fine sword skills. He's cutting down the shrubbery like I would. What a good kid." And then Alfred's like, "My shrubberies!" And then Bruce
Like
like,
when I was watching that scene, man, I was like, yeah, I feel for you, Alfred.
it's like, damn, give my man Alfred more respect, Damien. Come on now. All right.
Alfred's
So,
number one in this film. That's the easiest thing I can say. Alfred is number one in this film.
and to be fair though, Alfred has beat Superman in the comics. Like, he literally put a piece of kryptonite in a pan, and he literally knocked him out.
That's all you really have to do.
That is true. But Alfred's a badass, and he's fun, he's witty. I love Alfred.
Oh, he was very witty in this movie.
He always is, though.
He always is witty, but man, there was actually some really good, funny jokes, and just the way his expression is the entire time when he says it, it's like, yeah, even when he's not saying a joke, just his expression to Damien the entire movie makes me laugh. Because it's kind of my expression to the kid when he first meet him.
Indeed, indeed. Now, let us get into our... Oh God. Sorry, I'm trying to get my the thing up. Final grades and final thoughts. I guess I'll go first. I'll give this movie a B plus. I think it's a good movie, despite some of its flaws. I like the characters, the action was good, the story was solid. Despite maybe a shorter runtime than I would have liked, and I do think again there's little things they could have fixed, and especially in the beginning and the villain. But I would say it's a good introduction to Damien, Nightwing, and just the general and Batman. Well, Batman gets introduced in Justice League War technically, but you do get a bit more Batman and him trying to be a father figure to Damien while at the same time he's being Batman. It was good, very good movie. The thing is, there's just better Batman movies out there. Like, is it better than Under the Red Hood? No. Is it better than Dark Knight Returns? No. But it's good. I liked it. It's a B plus, and yeah, just B plus. So good. So for the first 3 movies, for me, for being an A, a B, and a B plus, I think it's a good start thus far. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. Dylan.
All right. So, final thoughts. I'm basically just going to reiterate everything that Austin said. I liked the movie. I've seen better movies. The way I tend to do my reviews for this film, the biggest thing I want to review, is my enjoyment of the film. And I really did enjoy the film, but I enjoyed movies like The Red Hood more. This is a great film. I'm not taking away from that, but without a doubt, this is a B. This is an A out of 10. It's not my favorite film, but it's not my least favorite film either. It's a good movie. I would definitely watch it again.
Okay. I like that. B plus. Yeah, we're basically in the same range, same letter grade.
We are.
See, we got Gaxiola. Did you see the new Trigon? I have not seen the new Trigon. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, we got 3 minutes until we get to 40 minutes. I guess we could drag it out for a couple more minutes. So, Dylan, the next movie is Justice League Throne of Atlantis. What is your predictions for that one?
My predictions for that one will be, and you know what, this movie has a lot to stand up to, in my opinion, because I know it should be better, and I expect it to be better, but maybe because of it, my expectations are a little high. I really, really liked Aquaman. Maybe the live action Aquaman isn't everybody's favorite movie, but I really enjoyed the live action Aquaman movie. I'm expecting a good telling of Aquaman's backstory. I'm expecting the whole thing about the king. I'm basically expecting the Aquaman origin story from this. I'm expecting to learn about his parents. I'm expecting to learn about how he's actually king of Atlantis. I expect to see Atlantis fight. I expect the surface actually to want to destroy Atlantis, or reverse that, because I can't remember his name, but the main villain from Aquaman 2 wanted to destroy the surface world, and Aquaman said no, and I expect to see all of that in this film. I'm expecting a pretty good film. Cameos? I don't know. I don't know about cameos. I don't know. Batman could show up. Batman could show up. Actually, Superman. I think Superman might show up. I could be completely wrong about that. But yeah, I don't know. I would just say Wonder Woman, but I don't think she'll show up. I mean, it could be really interesting if she did, because considering the whole situation we had in Flashpoint, that would be really funny if she shows up because of Flashpoint. But Aquaman, yeah, it's gonna be an Aquaman movie. I really don't have too much of a prediction, except we're gonna get Aquaman's backstory, and I expect by the end of the film for him to, if he doesn't join the Justice League by the end of the film, it will be the very next movie that he does. In fact, it might actually be because Atlantis is trying to attack the entire world that Aquaman gets involved, and then the Justice League gets involved, and that's how he ends up in the Justice League. I could see something like that going on, but we will see. And there you have it, the 40-minute mark.
There
We did
we
it.
go. There we go. I'm gonna get to some of these last chats. I have not watched it yet, but I'm bent by the artwork. It's anime. It's just me, but it was an inspiration for Full Metal Alchemist. Now, clips I feel like interesting, very interesting.
Gaxiola, if you like anime, check out Anime Talk. I hope you subscribe to the new channel. It's a brand new channel, man. And on the is it the 23rd or the 24th? It is indeed the 24th, Tuesday. I will be going live for my first anime podcast. I'm hoping I'm hoping you'll join us. I don't know if Austin's gonna be there or not, but it's gonna be a lot of fun.
We will see. We will see. I'm gonna go around. I'm basically just gonna go into the chat. Say thank you to Sindret, to Sean, Tim, Jaxlaw for coming by. Definitely appreciate it. We're gonna go around the panel one more time. Tell everybody where they can find themselves at. Well, just Dylan. So Dylan, you can go first.
Yep. You guys can not only find me at the Austinators channel for our little DC movie reviews. This is actually gonna be really fun. I know this one kind of seems short. Actually, we were able to pad it out pretty good. I'm actually impressed with how much we padded this out. But yeah, you guys can also find me at Nindroid's channel, aka Star Wars Network's channel. I am his moderator. And you can also find me on Tim's Talks sometimes, as well as Zach's channel sometimes. And of course, make sure you guys do subscribe to Anime Talk, my new channel. Now, on my old channel, Dylan's Little Hobbies, I might actually review some of the other one-off movies like me and Austin used to do back in the day. Those are still on there, that channel. I have to do an update video on that channel pretty soon about what's going on with it, but basically not a lot's going on with that channel. It's just basically dead. It's gonna sit for a long time. But I hope you guys do enjoy Anime Talk. I'm looking forward to that. And thanks for having me on, Austin. This was fun.
No problem.
I'm still just trying to pad out the time.
Let's see if we can pad this out to 45 minutes. You guys can find me on my own channel, well, the one you're watching right now, for these DC animated movie reviews, maybe some other streams. My Nindroid's channel, Star Wars Network for Galactic Chat, which you will be able to see on tomorrow. We'll talk about Bad Batch, some news, all that fun stuff. Wednesdays, you can find me on the Basco Scenario for the Hangout. You can find me on Chaos Central for the Bad Batch Roundtable. And
are you gonna be in? Are you gonna be on Nindroid's panel, or are you just gonna be in the chat?
I'm gonna be on Nindroid's panel. Yeah, that's gonna be very interesting, cause last time I was there, didn't go so well. But I'm hoping...
no, actually, I think last time was perfect.
Oh, I think it was too.
You were the star of the show, man. You were very entertaining.
I was trying to make it more entertaining because Bad Batch was the Bad Batch.
Yeah, it's a bad batch.
Yeah, Bad Batch is putting it very lightly.
I didn't even watch the new episode. I gotta watch that now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, but maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so just check me out everywhere. I'll probably be on Dylan's Anime Talk and other stuff, so check me out when you can. And yeah, that about does it. So yeah, that's about... Yeah, sometimes Oscar can't help, but that Bad Batch show was cool. To each their own. Yeah, that about does it. Thank you guys for watching. This is the Austin. Signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Oh, where's the outro? Where's the outro?
Anti-life is found.